What is good with the YouTube? It is your boy, Sean Rock to the represent Mandatory Thrive HGBM, because every day it is mandatory for us to thrive, and I am back again with another video. And in this video, I'm going to talk once again about the importance of social media detoxes, why I'm taking a social media detox, why I went on a social media hiatus, and why I believe it might be beneficial for most people. So let's just talk about some of the challenges that I see with people's relationship with social media and how it affects our mental health, how it affects us in society, and how it's affected me personally. So the first challenge that I see with social media is that it produces deeper isolation with people and a lack of social skills. And I've seen this with myself and with others. What I mean is, social media tends to give you this magic wand illusion that you are engaged and you are invested with actual people, when in all reality you are engaged with a platform and your perception of people. And if you are already feeling lonely or struggling, it increases that feeling of isolation compared to when you are in the same position, meaning you have the same amount of friends, you have the same amount of engagements offline as online. When you're offline or off social media per se, I feel that you feel much more fulfilled and satisfied, or at least for me. So I feel that social media increases isolation, and it does not improve social skills, because social media relies on or makes most people rely on their own perception of themselves, right? So you can hide insecurities, you can increase insecurities, right? And you can create an illusion, which what I've seen in my personal life and with others as well is that when in real, natural, normal interactions, this makes you socially awkward. It's made me socially awkward. And I'll just give an example. I took an 8-month hiatus from social media, and I became a book salesman, and I was going door to door selling books. Now, because I was going door to door selling books, I will say that my social skills improved because of that. I think that was a great contributor of how I communicated and how I engage within my daily encounters. But I also feel that because I was off social media, and of course when you're off social media, you need human connection, you need human reaction, you're going to be a little bit more strategic, and you're going to be a little bit more hungry to engage with people, because we're humans, right? We need to connect. Like, we're born to connect. We're born to be drenched in some form of community. So because I wasn't on social media and getting this illusion of connection, I had to go out and seek those things. So in my daily engagements, I was much more intentional and much more invested, even if it was just going to a simple store or talking to somebody at the gym or whatever engagements that I had. I was much more invested and much more less distracted. So social media makes this a very, very challenging thing. So it's going to, in my opinion, decline your social skills. It's not going to enhance them. Usually it makes them worse. So first thing is isolation, social and lack of social skills. I believe that social media as well is predatory to not only your addiction to social media, but your addiction to other things. Because whenever you engage in impulsive behavior, it's kind of like a ball and chain effect, like, right? Like you continue to create those engagements in other areas of your life that you're trying to build up and trying to change. And maybe that's just me, but for my experiences, that I've attempted to create balance with social media, and it will work for a time, but eventually I begin to become impulsive, right? Because I'm constantly checking. And what this does is not only makes me addicted to social media, it also feeds off of other addictions that I may be struggling with. So this isn't good, because if you're trying to excel, if you're trying to level up, if you're trying to become the best version of yourself, and make transformation in your life, you don't want to continue on in compulsive and addictive behaviors. And social media, from what I've understand from my own personal research, it is predatory when it comes to trying to, its sole purpose, its sole design is to make you compulsive, addictive, and in need to be invested in that platform for the monetary gain that it gets. And I'll give a quick example of why this is true. I first said I'm going to delete Facebook and Instagram off of my phone, but I'm going to keep Messenger open. Well, Messenger at one point didn't have stories tied to Messenger, right? Now it has stories tied to Messenger. So when you're on Messenger, you're even prone to, you're still engaged because they have stories tied right directly to it, and it's not just Messenger. So you're still technically tied to social media. That's one example of how the system is rigged to kind of keep you very engaged with social media, and not really engaged with what you need to be engaged with. Along with that, it makes it very, very hard to have notifications be manipulated for your personal preferences. Meaning they don't make it easy for you to deactivate, but they make it very, very easy for you to reactivate. They make it very, very easy for you to receive all type of notifications, even notifications that absolutely have nothing to do with you. As well as they make it very, very difficult strategically for those notifications to be deactivated by you. So they make the process more difficult for you to safeguard yourself, but they make the process more accessible for you not to safeguard yourself. So this is going to create a cycle of addiction, bypassing your own disciplines. And the reason why I know this is because I documented and wrote and seen my behavior over time as I process this. Now, I haven't made the decision, me personally, to get completely off social media. I'm just taking a detox. But this is a reason why, because I believe that it creates addictive, impulsive behavior. And last but not least, in this video, I have many more topics that I'll talk about the challenges that I see with social media. But last but not least, I want to talk about how it distracts you from your goals when it seems as if it should align with your goals. Like, even if you, let's say you develop a big following because of what you do, I still feel like you're pretty much distracted because you're constantly pushing, and you're constantly trying to get material out, and you're not engaged in that activity. Here's what I mean. I post a lot of workout videos and different things like that, and I feel as if I'm not really engaged with the workouts because I'm spending so much time trying to figure out what I'm going to post on Instagram and Facebook, right? And it's my motivations are not necessarily to all the time impact people. It starts off that way, but it starts to lean to getting a dopamine hit or getting some type of validation and approval, even though that's not even my intended goal initially, but it ends up becoming that. And what that does is it kind of basically puts a blur or gray scales over your eyes of your main motivation for what you're pushing for. Even if you're developing a following or getting some type of engagement, you're distracted. So when it comes to your goals, social media seems to be, for me personally, a very, 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 very big distraction. And I feel like it's created some millionaires. It's made some success stories, but look behind the scenes, deal with people's internal, truths, and you'll see that it's also created some monsters. It's also severed some relationships. It's also created some compulsive and addictive behavior amongst people. It's also made some people very socially awkward or less engaged with their children, with their family, with themselves, with their own personal growth. And I'm taking the social media detox, and I think that some people should take it as well, to figure out how much I want to contribute to this big massacre of the people, because my goal is, it's mandatory that we thrive, right? Thrive, not give pebbles or crumbs to ourselves and to others. And a lot of times I feel like this is exactly what's happening due to the overindulgence in social media. And social media is not the enemy or the devil. It's just one particular thing that's challenging the overall grand scheme of what I see to be the greater good of humanity, society, and community. And that's just my spill on it. And I'm going to talk more about all type of addictions, but for me in particular, I'm taking a social media detox, and these are a couple reasons why I believe some people should take a social media detox. Salute to the gainers. Remember, dream big, work hard, live great, don't stop. And before I go, when I speak of social media, yes, YouTube is a social media platform, but what I mean is traditional social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, to name a few. Social media platforms that is not as educational based, but more socially oriented. I believe YouTube is not really socially oriented. I believe YouTube is more entertainment and educational based, and it has some effects, but it does not seem, to me personally, it does not seem to have the same treacherous challenges on my personal life that those platforms have. So salute to the gamers. Lil Nicky, I'm out. Peace.